5, some of the health benefits of fasting is treat your depression, lose your weight, or lose some weight. Unfortunately, many Muslims put on weight. They eat far much more in Ramadan. Get generally healthy. Get rid of snacking. In fact, the average snack in Britain is 7 snacks a day. People eat 7 times a day snacks. Some eat 10 snacks a day or even more. So every time, when they were the lockdown, when the corona was progressing, people put on weight because they kept going to the kitchen. That's the only exercise they do. Open the fridge, eat something, and go back. And so Ramadan make you get rid of the habit of snacking and get generally healthier and get less sexual drive and urge to get married. And this is the hadith to the young people. If you can marry, marry. If not, fast, because this will protect you. Question number 6, from Sunnah to fast 6 days of Jawwal, Arafat day, Ashura day, and Mondays and Thursdays. And question number 7, Muslims are not allowed to fast the doubtful day of Shaban and Saturdays outside Ramadan, and women having period must not fast, and women who has just delivered babies or had miscarriage, and people in Hajj on day 9, if they are in Hajj itself. So you are not expected or you're not supposed to fast. Today we're going to finish fasting by telling you about all the things in between, which is obviously you're not allowed to fast on Eid days, Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha. It's haram. And you are not allowed to fast continuously all your life, all your time. What's encouraged in Ramadan is sadaqah, to give sadaqah. You'll be rewarded more than outside Ramadan by 70 times. And this is why people actually like to give their zakah in Ramadan. So in Ramadan they calculate how much money they had last year, how much money they have left over this year, and they give zakah for the money they saved for more than a year. And usually it's 85 grams of gold and 685 grams of silver. 85 grams of gold is nearly 3 ounces of gold. So those who gave zakah, they had, suppose you have 3 ounces of gold you had last year, and you still have 3 ounces of gold, you have to give zakah on it. Now,
I've got a question about lending gold. If I were to lend someone a gold bar worth £500, and I told them you have to return a gold bar of the same weight back to me in like a month, but in that month's time the weight of that gold has increased by £100.
the weight.
Yeah, so it's not so the price, the value.
The price.
The value has increased.
Yeah, if you didn't ask the question, you would have had the answer now. If you had 3 ounces of gold last year, which is around 93 grams of gold, so you have to pay zakah on it. If you still have done 3 ounces of gold this year, you saved it for a year. Like if he gave you the gold after you lent it to him in 3 months or a year, then you have to give zakah. So you are not going to break the ounce and give a piece of it as gold. You need to convert it to British pound or dollar. Now last year, if I remember correctly, the ounce was £1,500, The ounce this year is 1,600 pounds. So you're supposed to give zakat 2.5% of the 85. 2.5, how many grams? Percent. So let's say 3 or 7. Let's say 7 grams. You have to give 7 grams or 2.5 from not 7. 2.5 from 85, which is nearly 2 grams. 2 grams of gold. You're not going to break the ounce, but you need to price it. How much is it? 1,600. How much the 2 grams? 1,600 the 31 grams. So how much the gram? Now, roughly it was 50 pounds a gram last year. It's 52 pounds this year. So the zakah you give is 104 pounds. Yeah, not 100. Why? It is the utmost wisdom of Allah Azza wa Jal. Why it's really came from Allah Azza wa Jal, the source of wisdom, the creator. Where do you see the mighty in the regulation? Now tell me how it is really, it's really great thinking. Obviously Allah Azza wa Jal is the creator. Why it's very great?
Because He knows the what's best for us. Because what?
Translate it into life now. Why, if I give the poor 104 pounds, it's far much better for them financially than giving them 100 pounds. They had 4 pounds more. Yeah, I catered for inflation. Because I'm not going to go back to the town and buy the prices of last year. They will have to buy the price of now. So, if you didn't have gold, you had British pound, and you had the 3 ounces will be 15. Anyway, if you have 10,000 pounds last year, and you have 10,000 pounds still this year, you have to give zakah on it. And zakah 2.5%, yeah? So you give 50 pounds for the, 25 pounds for the 10,000 pounds. Yeah? 250. 250 pounds for the 10,000 pounds. But you didn't cater for inflation. You didn't cater for inflation. Because the poor, if you give him the 250 pounds, they are not the same value of the 250 pounds last year, because the inflation was nearly 13%, then became 11 and 10, now it's 4%. But they will go to town and they will buy the price of today, not the price of a year ago. So people who give zakah neglecting inflation, they are depriving the poor from the value of the inflation. So you have to give him the zakah plus the inflation 4%. This is why Allah Azza wa Jal made the measure for nisab in gold and silver, because nobody can create gold and create silver, but many countries creating paper money from nothing. Anyway, we finished the whole So sadaqah in Ramadan will be rewarded far much more than outside Ramadan. And the Taraweeh in Ramadan, Qiyamul Layl, will be rewarded by Allah Azza wa Jal. And the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever fasts Ramadan and Qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban, you pray Taraweeh, believing in Allah Azza wa Jal, wishing from Him to reward you, Allah will forgive all your sins. Reading the Quran also will be rewarded far much more in Ramadan. And the Prophet ﷺ used to read the Quran with Jibreel every year. And the last year of his life, he read the Quran twice with Jibreel alayhi salam. Another good deed in Ramadan, you do i'tikaf in Ramadan. And you need to do one i'tikaf in your lifetime, 10 days i'tikaf, the last 10 days of Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ used to do the i'tikaf. What i'tikaf means? Yeah, Zakaria.
When you stay in the mosque for 10 days at the end of Ramadan.
Yeah, you stay 24/7 or 10 days in Ramadan in the mosque, if they allow you. Not all mosques allow you. In Central Mosque here in Birmingham, they allow you. They have they put sheets on the side of the mosque, make small rooms, and people sit there. You are not allowed to go home unless you need to have a shower or change or have new clothing. And you are allowed to go to work if you are still working. But basically, you read the Quran, you pray, and you're fasting and things. The way around it also, you are allowed every time you go to a mosque, in Ramadan or outside Ramadan, you can say, I made intention to do i'tikaf in this mosque while I'm in it. So if you stay in the mosque for 1 hour, it's counted. So if you go to the mosque 3 times a day, 3 hours. If you go to learn in the mosque, it's counted as part of i'tikaf. And also i'timar, to go to Umrah in Ramadan, is encouraged. And the Prophet ﷺ said, doing a Umrah in Ramadan will be like going to Hajj with me. So if you do Umrah in Ramadan, it will be like if you've gone with the Prophet ﷺ on Hajj. I met somebody who thought that he went to Umrah in Ramadan. He doesn't want to go to Hajj. I said, why? He said, I did Umrah in Ramadan. It's equal to Hajj, but it doesn't drop the Hajj. It doesn't drop the Hajj obligation. You still have to go and do Hajj. I've done Umrah in Ramadan like Hajj. The Prophet said, yes, never mind. It's like, but it's not Hajj. It's like doing Hajj with the Prophet. And it will be for the time between 2 Umrahs will be forgiven. If you do Umrah and commit sins, if you avoid the big sins, the kaba'ir. So you can't kill somebody and go to Umrah. Okay, Allah will forgive me. No, you have to pay the diya, and if you deliberately kill somebody, his family have the right to get you exterminated. What do they call it in Islam? The death penalty. What do we call it?
Is that hudud punishment?
No, not hudud. The other word. There's hudud and for a pen. Hudud and hudud, and it's in the Quran as well. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاةٌ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Qisas. Qisas for crimes committed against people. Hudud is for crimes committed against Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah said, don't drink alcohol. In Britain, in Europe, there's no penalty for drinking alcohol. But in Islam, there is whiplash, 20 whiplashes for drinking alcohol. That's called had. Had shurb al-khamr. So had, hudud, for crimes committed against Allah Azza wa Jal, like zina. Oh, she consented, she's above 18. Never mind, in Islam, will be punished for that. In other Sharia, this is what's happening now. It's like people act worse than anyone sometimes. So hudud, qisas, in the hand of who decide whether you should be punished for qisas, for crime committed against other people. Who should decide?
The judge. Or no, the family that...
The victim, or if he is dead, his family. Yeah, if he is dead, his family decide whether to get you executed or not. So when people fight against death penalty in Islam, the problem is most people who talk against Islam, they never studied Islam. And most Muslims never studied Islam. Not only non-Muslims, Muslims. You ask questions, they don't know the answer. So in Ramadan, i'timar will forgive the year before that, but provided you don't commit the major sins, like killing, like stealing, you need to give back the money person you stole. Again, sariqa is the only one between hudud and qisas. Sariqa is punished in the Western countries by the judge. While in Islam, if it reaches the judge, and if it reaches the ruler of the country, the hand has to be cut. If it doesn't reach the ruler and sort it out between themselves locally, you can apply the law, put him in prison and things. Why is that? Why is that? If it reaches the ruler, hand has to be cut. If it doesn't reach the ruler,
Because it's that big of a deal.
because
It's that big of a deal, and the person was like that upset, so they cut the hand off.
not the family, not the victim decide to cut the hand or not. It's had. If somebody drink alcohol because he stole it from the shop, you punish him for stealing, but you don't punish him for drinking alcohol. It's had that, the right of Allah Azza wa Jal. Because it seemed the sariqa, the theft, not all the theft, fraud, you don't cut the hand for fraud. For cheating, you don't cut the hand. Pickpocketing, you don't cut the hand. Going to the graveyard and stealing the coffin. I don't know if anybody does it. The next day they stole the coffin. They left my dad in the hole. But they do steal the shroud in poor countries. But only theft which you break into houses while people inside the house or outside the house, making advantage of them being asleep, unable to chase you, and that terrifying the whole family, then you cut the hand. If somebody steals something, carrying your mobile, somebody stole it and run away, you don't cut his hand. Why is that? Because many people around could chase him and get the phone back, and you were not paying attention, you were careless and things. While the sariqa from breaking inside, the burglary from inside the houses, but it only be applied if it reaches the ruler, because the idea is not to become widespread. Not the idea is find, if you want to cut the hand for every thief, no matter what he stole, you'll find probably half the public now with one hand. Many of them steal. Even policemen, if they find he's not going to be caught, they steal. So, you avoid kaba'ir. And how to prove Ramadan has started, we mentioned this before. The method we're using here in Solihull, if the Muslim American use, if the moon is born before 12 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, tomorrow is Ramadan. If the moon is born after 12 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, the day after tomorrow is Ramadan. And obviously Eid as well. And we followed this system from 2006. And not a single year we were wrong. 18 years we followed that system. We know when Ramadan is going to be 10 years in advance. People follow other two methods, which is one of them is the whole city itself some have to go and spot the crescent, and you will be lucky, extremely lucky in Britain to have no crowd. But you need to have a lot of knowledge, because the moon doesn't sit in the same place every night. The moon moves like the earth moves, and the sunset actually, the sun sits in 180 locations, and in reverse 180 locations. So in the whole year, the sun sits in 360 locations, and the sun comes from 360 locations, 180 this way and 180 going back. And you have to have a lot of knowledge how to spot the crescent. Or the third one, if any country saw the crescent, we all fast. So you have to fast by locally seeing the crescent, or following the first country who see the crescent, and that's in Hanafi and Hanbali and Shafi'i. They allow you to see it locally, and if science is proven to be correct, you follow the science. It's not guessing. The science is not guessing, and this is why Allah Azza wa Jalla said, "Inna iddat ash-shuhuri 'inda Allahi 12 shahran fi kitabillahi wa ma khalaqa as-samawati wal ard." From that time, when He created the heavens and earth, He made the year 12 month, lunar month, not solar month, because you don't need to correct every 4 years. The lunar months every 2,500 years. It's every, what did I say, 250,000 years. What did I say at the beginning? Yeah, 2,500 years. You make one correction. So you have these three methods, and the shocking things or the sad things that you will see a family, this son breaking the fast with Saudi, or fasting with Saudi, that son fasting with Morocco, for Morocco the closest to Britain, and that son fasting with the Central Mosque in Birmingham because they went to see the crescent. Very few actually use the calculation. So for us in Solihull, we get sometime, most Solihull come and pray with us Eid. Why is that? And many people come from Birmingham. So we borrowed the tennis court because it takes 2,000 easy.
Is it because you finished the
Yeah, we finished earlier. So they will fast a day less. They come. We don't see these people coming to pray Friday with us. Oh, they don't live in, but they say, oh, sorry, I'm breaking the fast tomorrow. We'll go with them. But we followed this calculation things because we can plan. Because we hire halls. We don't. When is Ramadan? I don't know. I have to wait till the nights of Eid to hire the hall. We got to hire the hall 6 months in advance, and somebody hired it. So if you have your own mosque, yes, okay. They have 5 or 6 sets of prayers. The first Eid, second Eid, third Eid. Anyway, so this is the way you confirm seeing the Hilal. You can't use the guessing. Before, people were not able to scientifically calculate, they were guessing, munajjimun. And they are wrong. You don't follow munajjim because that's guessing, it's haram guessing. You have to have a real method. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Shamsu wal qamaru bihusban. The movement of the sun and the moon, they're calculated, computed precisely how they are going to move. And Allah Azza wa Jalla also said about the sun and the moon that you can use them to calculate as well. Shurut al-Sawm, you have to be reach puberty age and sane and healthy, and not having periods for women and not having a child for women. Now, I had somebody ask me if a child has learning disability, does he need to pay fidya? Fidya, every day you break the fast and you can no longer fast a day instead. Like if somebody has terminal illness, cancer or something, can't fast and he's not going to get better, he's going to get worse and die. Or somebody is getting very old, close the book, close that Arabic book. Amar, close that. And somebody who is very ill or very old can't fast anymore. There's no way to be able to fast. Or a woman who she was pregnant, she couldn't fast. The next year was breastfeeding, she couldn't fast. The following year she's still breastfeeding, she couldn't fast. And the following year, second pregnancy, couldn't fast. So could accumulate 4 Ramadans. How she is going to fast 4 Ramadan instead. And the year to fast Ramadan will be, also there is Ramadan there in that year, so it will be 5 Ramadans to fast. So most scholars said she fasts only 1 Ramadan and pay fidya for the other 4 Ramadans. So how much fidya she has to pay? Asif? She didn't fast 4 Ramadans. You're not a lady, obviously. You don't go through this. Every Ramadan, how many days? 30 days, yeah? Yeah, 30 days. How many for Ramadan? 120. So how many people she need to feed in? Yeah, 120. For each day she breaks the fast, she feeds one person. Because she can't fast 5 Ramadans. She fasts 1 of them and pay 90 days, probably 3 Ramadans, 90 days. And for those who can no longer fast, also to feed poor person for every day they broke the fast. So the whole Ramadan will be to feed 1 person a day. How much will be? £5, something like this. So for the whole Ramadan, £150. Fidya. Fidya. If you are traveling or you are sick and you recovered and you came back, you fast days instead. Fasting now when you are traveling, it's a bit debatable now because the speed of traveling is very fast. Now you are allowed to break the fast if you're traveling 40, 50 miles, 60, 70 kilometers. So from here to Nottingham, you will be allowed to break the fast, but you're traveling 50 miles. It only take 1 hour, and it's the car, and it's winter. So most people don't break the fast. But if you are traveling and you are traveling to Scotland and it's a summer and it's hot and things, you better break the fast. Why? You're more likely to lose concentration, to be really more tired than usual. So you better break the fast and fast days instead. If you're traveling by plane, what will you do now?
If you're fasting in summer and you have to break it and you're traveling, you have to like re-fast up. Like fast instead of another day.
Yeah, you have to fast days instead.
Okay.
And could be, for sisters, could be easy because they break the fast 6-7 days during the period in the summer, and they could fast days instead in the winter. It will be from 7 o'clock till 4 o'clock. So it'll be easier for them. They choose to fast days shorter. But now talking about traveling, could be you could be traveling by plane, easy. You're not flying the plane, but there's a lot of stops and a lot of checking and security check and waiting and gate and things. You might be advised to break the fast. So all subject to one person might stand traveling without breaking the fast. Some must break the fast, especially if they are the one who is driving, the one who is flying the plane, or the one who is driving the train or something. If you are sick, again, it's similar to traveling. Sick now, if somebody broke his arm, should he fast or not? Yes, nothing to do with. But if somebody has a disease, he needs to take medicine every 6 hours or every 2 hours. He shouldn't fast because he has to cure himself.
You have to make it up.
If it's not terminal illness and you're cured, you have to make up. Yeah. If it's terminal illness, you have to pay fidya. Fidya. Feed the person for every day break. Now, illnesses, they differ a lot, and you need really a trustworthy doctor to ask, preferably a Muslim doctor. Because many diseases you can fast while you have the disease, and some diseases you should not fast while having the disease, and some could be tolerated. Some people could fast, some people could not. Without giving an example, without giving me a case, I can't say. In general, sick are allowed not to fast if fasting will delay their recovery or finish their life, kill them or something. The same for the lady who is pregnant or breastfeeding. Some ladies can't tolerate being pregnant and fast, some can't. And some psychologically can't. She's so terrified, this is the first baby and she doesn't want to lose it. And she's so worried, then break the fast. Worried that she might lose the baby. The same when they're breastfeeding. Some women can breastfeed while fasting, some can't. They need to drink water to produce milk. And if they don't drink water, they can't produce milk. Why you're not fasting? Oh, I have a baby who's on milk. But do you breastfeed? No, it's a bottle milk. Then she's bottle feeding, she fasts. But you not actually yourself need to drink to produce the milk. You only need to go to the supermarket, buy the milk powder and make the bottle. So nothing to do with your head. So each case has to be studied separately. And has to now somebody who's a trustworthy Muslim. If somebody was ill and didn't fast half Ramadan and died, and the Prophet was asked, she said, my mother died and she has 15 days to fast. She didn't fast. He said, if your mom died and she has debt, she borrowed money, will you give the money back to the person she borrowed from? She said, yes. And he said Allah deserves to be given back the debt. So it's the debt to Allah Azza wa Jal. You fast on behalf of your father or mother who died, and they have to fast days. If they are expected not to recover to fast, you give fidya, feed one person per day. Now he's talking here about arkan al-Sawm, that you have to have intention, you have to refrain from eating, drinking, and having sexual activity, and from sunrise, not from sunrise, from dawn to sunset. That's arkan, the pillars of fasting. But the sunan, you have to break the fast quickly. Once the sun sets, you're not expected to delay breaking the fast, and eat suhoor till it is dawn. So don't eat suhoor 12 o'clock and go to sleep. Some people don't want to wake up. Waking up is barakah. The Prophet ﷺ said, تسحروا فإنه في السحور بركة. Have suhoor, some food in the middle of the night, because there's blessing in it. And if you don't wake up and really go to the kitchen and have some food, you don't really benefit from siyam mentally. Because I said last week that depression improves because of the waking up and having suhoor. You improve your mood, you get better, you get happier. And from sunnah to break the fast on dates and water. And then pray maghrib and then come back, have your meal. Many people break the fast and carry on eating. We were inviting to a family when we were new in Solihull, and they gave us the futur to break the fast. It wasn't dates only, it was date and bakura and samosa and some shish kebab and then we ate, and then we prayed maghrib, and then we stayed a bit. Okay, thank you for inviting us. Want to go? Said no, the main meal is not served yet. Breaking the fast, few dates, 2 dates, 3 dates, 1 date or 3 dates. You better break on odd number. 3 days probably, that's it. But to give them dates and bakura and samosa, that's a full meal. So the sunnah is some water, some dates. Not produced by Israel, by the way. Check the code. Brother Salim here went to the code and went to the company, and on the company side, they're saying they imported it from Israel. While on the box itself, there's nothing mentioned about Israel. They're killing your Muslim brothers. They're killing people, human animals. They don't care. And they have been killing, they killed nearly 30,000 people in Gaza so far. And to make dua before you pray, break your fast, to make dua, it's the most accepted dua you can make. And the Prophet used to say, اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء أن تغفر لي ذنوبي. I ask you by your mercy, which included everything, to forgive my sins. And also, Allahumma, O Allah, for you we fasted, and from your food we broke the fast. So accept from us, إنك أنت السميع العليم. اللهم إنك صمت وبك آمنت وعليك توكلت وعلى رزقك أفطرت. Again, having suhoor is important, and delay the suhoor till just before dawn. So today it was 41, 5:41. So you could have suhoor 5:20. Wake up 5:20. Have suhoor. Give yourself 20 minutes. Yeah, give yourself 20 minutes to have proper suhoor. At least few dates. At least sandwich bit or some cereal. You really, especially these days, you're not allowed to guess when the dawn is. So there's so many sources of information. You're not expected in fasting, the things which is discouraged, to make madmada, you wash your mouth with a lot of water, likely to swallow some. So try to the front of your mouth more than the back of your mouth.
How do you find out when it's the dawn or the silver line?
There is now a site called Fajr.com. They went and put their cameras and they observed every single day when the sun when the silver lining appears in Britain, and they put that, documented that. And always you have sites mentioned when the sunrise is, and roughly 1.5 hours before sunrise. If you're taking the sun at 15 degrees below the horizon, so that's it. For some reason, Hanafi take it as 2.5 hours. But what are you going to do in the summer? In the summer, probably there's no silver lining at all, always a bit light. You're not allowed to kiss your wife unless you are really in control of yourself, and you're not allowed to look into indecent images or think of indecent images or touch women likely to steer your sexual drive, and you're not allowed to use chewing gum. You can taste the salt of the food you're cooking, advise not, and you're not allowed to make madmada without wudu, because your mouth is dry. Okay, I'll make madmada. No. Well, if you make wudu, yes, you can wash your mouth, but you can't use the water. And you can't have madmada with bakura or madmada with chocolate and things. Madmada with water. Yeah? Why are you eating chocolate? I'm not eating chocolate. I'm having madmada with the wudu. اكتحال used to put كحل. Now, what make you lose your fasting, if anything reach your stomach from your food pipe, or the back passage or the front passage for women. Anything enter but we said last week, entering the lung is not food. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Kulu washrabu, eat and drink until you see the silver lining, the white string from the black string. But inhaling is not eating nor drinking. And we don't feed people through their lung.
Wait, so smoking does not make fast?
That was puzzling to a lot of scholars, and they all agreed it's haram. On what basis, I don't know, but they agreed it's haram. But it is, in my understanding to Islam, it's haram because it's a poison. It kills you. So this is why it is haram. Because if you are making food and you have a barbecue, you're going to inhale smoke, like it or not. If you are behind the car with a carburetor gun, you're going to inhale smoke. So you have, you're not allowed to. What break your fast is eating, drinking deliberately, ejaculating for boys deliberately, vomiting deliberately, and careless about knowing whether it's Fajr or not, careless whether it's sunset or not, and whoever ate and drank, forgetting, you forgot that you're fasting, you started eating, you said, I'm fasting, okay, I'll finish the sandwich anyway. So you can't say I'll finish the food anyway, because I was forgetting. So if you remember straight away, you take out of your mouth what's in your mouth, you're forgiven for something you swallowed. And you are not allowed to deliberately refuse to say the niyyah, the intention. If somebody who left Islam, he loses his fast automatically. جماع العمد من غير إكراه. If he sleeps with his wife deliberately, as we said, and eat and drink without a reason, both you need to fast 60 days. You eat and drink deliberately without a reason. That's if you want to please Allah. If you don't want to please Allah, you go to hell, it's okay. It's your choice. You can brush your teeth. You can have a shower to cool down. You can break the fast when you're traveling, obviously, or receiving medicine. And you can use perfume. You're not allowed to use the eye drops might go inside, and nose drops. The eye drops, many scholars say it's negligible. The amount which goes inside is negligible. Forget about it. Use the eye drops, but don't use the nose drops. So the nose drops will go straight into your food pipe, into your stomach. That make you break the fast. If you swallow a fly, you don't lose your fast. Or if you swallow the dust, you are in dusty area or fog, thick fog. If somebody woke up and he needs a ghusl, he carry on fasting. He doesn't say, oh, I broke my fast. No, you didn't break your fast. If you saw what's a dream, you don't break your fast, whether you see the what's a dream day or night. And al-kafara, we mentioned to you that you need for every single day to feed a poor person for the day. 3